continues.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is a regularly scheduled Greer City Council meeting called and convened this evening, August 12th, 2025. We will start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation. If you'd like to join us, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings of this day. We thank you for health, life, and safety that brings us back here to this point tonight to do the work of this city. We thank you for the calling that you have placed upon our lives to minister to the city through the actions of this city. We thank you for the opportunity to serve and to work with a great staff, and ask that you bless all of them as well, to be with our public safety folks tonight as they are out and about. Help us to be mindful of those as well that seek shelter or food or whatever need they may have tonight. Help us be mindful of those situations as well too. Ask now that you'll go with us through the rest of this meeting and this evening. In your Son's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Ms. Duncan, anyone to appear in public forum this evening?
No, sir.
Council, with that, then you have the minutes from the council meeting of July the 22nd, 2025 contained in your packet. I'll introduce them. Here's the minutes. I will take a motion to receive, please.
So moved. Second.
Any items of note for the clerk? Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert? Yes. Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council, we have a petitioner this evening, Mr. Joshua Nowinski. He has asked to come regarding safety and code enforcement for 200 North Line Street. Mr. Nowinski, the podium is yours, sir. If you will give your name and home address as a matter of the record, we will entertain your petition.
My name is Joshua Nowinski. I live at 102 Harris Street in Greer. Good evening, Mayor Danner and council members. Again, my name is Joshua Nowinski, and I'm here to speak again about the long-standing public safety hazard at 200 North Line Street Extension in Greer. This property has been abandoned and deteriorating for years. I previously brought this to the council's attention a few months ago. And since then, I believe the building has gotten worse, being that there are now no doors on the building. It is infested with bats still, and now stray cats are running in and out of the building, and being that bats are in there, there's bat crap, which is very highly contagious with diseases. So cats go in the building, track it all over the place. City liability. I've been complaining about this building for over 2 years. I can't even, the other day I tried to sit in my yard and I was unable to due to the amount of low-flying bats. The structural decay continues with the collapsed siding, exposed insulation, and a deteriorating roof. I understand that there are legal processes that have to be followed, but while we wait, the structure remains an open hazard and liability for the city. So my questions tonight are simple. What is holding this up? What steps will the city take this month to secure or abate the hazard while demolition is delayed? And can we expect a realistic timeline for asbestos testing and final demolition? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. At this point in time, as you are aware, and I've been copied on most, if not all, of the correspondence between our codes department and yourself, you are aware that it is in administrative court at this point in time. Our attorneys are working to see this matter through, but it is a matter of property rights and will need to wind its way through the court. I don't know that there's a way that we have any other say than what we're doing now in the administration of that process. I would suggest that any updates that or information that you can't get from the codes department at this point, and I think that they've been fair in terms of reporting where they are at this point. Actually, since it's under the care of our attorney, city attorney, we'd be limited in what we could share anyway. I would suggest that any update might come from the city administrator. So that's what I would suggest moving forward, would be that your communications be with him.
I do have a follow-up question. The last update that I had was that the building is condemned and that it was up for an asbestos inspection and that was denied. What is the reason that it was denied?
I don't know, but if you will reach out to the administrator's office if he has that information. We are, again, limited in what we can say now that our attorney is handling this case.
Yeah, it's a matter of the courts. I do know that we're working with Spartanburg County Courts Administration and seeking an administrative warrant to do the things that are necessary to take the steps to clean the property up and condemn it as necessary. So as far as the specifics on why an asbestos test was denied, I don't know the answer to that. I can find out, and I'll be glad to catch up with you tomorrow about it.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah, please reach out.
Okay.
Yep.
Again, thank you for your time, everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you. With that, then, let's move to the administrator's report. Mr. Merriman.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you. By way of reminder, the last day to file for elections is this Friday. Filing ends at noon on Friday, August 15th, and it will be both for any council, open council seat or Commission for Public Works, file in person at City Hall. Zip Trip is coming to the City of Greer. They will be in Greer live on Friday the 15th from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. 10 a.m. And the spotlight will feature our good Mayor Danner, Greer businesses, the Greer Heritage Museum, Greer Golf, Center for the Arts, and Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. Some upcoming events to City Park will be the 16th, Tunes in the Park from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on the 17th, Farmers Market will be here from 11 a.m. to 2. And by way of reminder, I do want to remind council that the groundbreaking for the Sports and Events Center will be on Wednesday, the 27th at 10 a.m. I do hope that you can attend that event. And Mr. Mayor, the last thing I want to bring up, and if you'll indulge me one moment to read this letter, but your police department has worked diligently over these last 3 years to achieve something that very few departments nationwide achieve, and that's a CALEA accreditation. So if you'll give me one moment to read this letter from Mr. Craig Hartley, the Executive Director of CALEA. Chief Hamby, CALEA accreditation serves as the international gold standard for public safety agencies. This correspondence serves to recognize the Greer Police Department has been awarded law enforcement accreditation effective August 9th, 2025, for the first time. This award remains in effect for 40 years, and the agency retains all privileges associated with this status during that period. The process of CALEA accreditation begins with a rigorous self-assessment requiring a review of policies, practices, and processes against internationally accepted police public safety standards. This is followed with an assessment by independent assessors with significant public safety experience. Additionally, public feedback is received to promote community trust and engagement. Structured interviews are conducted with select agency personnel and others with knowledge to assess the agency's effectiveness and overall service delivery capacities. The decision to accredit is rendered by a governing body of 21 commissioners following a public hearing and a review of all reporting documentation. CALIA accreditation is a continuous process and serves as the foundation for a successful, well-managed, transparent, community-focused public safety agency. To this end, an agency must maintain its accredited status by remaining in compliance with CALIA standards at all times. CALIA congratulates the Greer Police Department for demonstrating a commitment to professional excellence through accreditation. CALIA accreditation is the mark of professional excellence and should be displayed proudly by those who have earned this honor. Mr. Mayor, your police chief and his command staff, specifically Eric Presley, have worked hard on this for 3 years and have earned it. And so I do want to just, I want to publicly make that announcement, congratulating our police department, and just remind this council in this city that both of its public safety agencies have achieved the highest standards in their profession, both with an ISO Class 1 with the fire department and now this CALIA accreditation for the police department. So for at least for me to Chief Hamby and his staff, congratulations, it's well earned, and I did want to be able to present this to you tonight.
I think that deserves a round of applause. With that, just a reminder that the Zip Trip will be out and about here this Friday. I will be the first interview they do here in the park. I will be meeting them at 4:45 to go on the air at 5 o'clock. I know that Ms. Duncan and Ms. Munoz are considering joining me at 4:45 in the morning here in the park. And I would like to invite council to do that as well, too. So if any of y'all want to come out here in the park at 5 o'clock that morning, I'll get you on Channel 7. How about that? So, was that a smile or a smirk? We are looking forward to that. New business this evening. Well, let's start with old business. We might ought to do that first. Let's start with old business. Tonight, we have before us the second and final reading of ordinance number 17-2025. This is an ordinance authorizing the City of Greer to enter into an agreement with the County of Spartanburg, providing for fire service and financial arrangements for properties located in the Duncan Fire Service area. We had some discussion in regards to this at our last meeting. Pretty straightforward. I'll entertain a motion to receive.
So motion.
And a second. Floor is open for discussion or further questions. Hearing none, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council items of new business this evening, the first and final reading of a resolution. This is resolution number 16-2025, a resolution to provide for certain certificates regarding an abandoned building and an abandoned site. According to South Carolina Code 1267-100 ET. Reno Deaton joins us for this matter. Mr. Deaton, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Good evening. This request for an abandoned building certification may seem very familiar to you. In fact, you passed an abandoned building certification for this property back in February. This just corrects a couple of typos, if you will, in the document. One, it corrects, the property was mislabeled Greenville compared to Greer, and it said it may be abandoned versus it is abandoned. We spoke with Michael Kozlarek, our attorney. He was comfortable with both changes, and of course, the affidavit is one of the strongest that we've seen in terms of these abandoned building certification requests.
Thank you, sir. With that information, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to receive
So motion?
and a second.
Second.
Floor is open for discussion or questions. Further discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. Thank you, sir. Council, the second item before us this evening is the first reading of ordinance number 15-2025. This is an ordinance to change the zoning classification of a certain property owned by Greenville Hospital System located on South Buncombe Road, West Road, and South Main Street from commercial, general, and office professional to regional center. Mr. Bowles joins us for this discussion this evening. There is more information contained in your packet. Mr. Bowles, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 15, 2025 went before the Planning Commission for a public hearing on July 21st. The docket number was RZ 25-06. The applicant is Thomas and Hutton, and as the mayor said, this zoning request pertains to 6 parcels located between South Buncombe Road, South 14, and West Road. The existing zoning for 5 of the parcels is commercial general. One of the parcels is zoned office professional, and the request is to rezone all 6 parcels to regional center. Here you can see an aerial of the site. All told, the 6 parcels comprise of 48.8 acres. Here's the zoning map. As you can see in red, it is commercial general for the most part, although one large parcel is zoned office professional in purple. Across South Buncombe Road is, of course, the existing hospital campus, which is also zoned office professional. And surrounding it in various directions, you will see manufacturing and logistics in blue, design review district in brown, and traditional neighborhood and suburban neighborhood kind of in the distance in orange and beige respectively. Here's the future land use map. All 6 parcels have a mixed employment designation in the future land use map, and the surrounding parcels are either mixed employment in blue or traditional neighborhood in tan. Here is a photo of existing conditions at the intersection of West Road and South Buncombe Road. Here are the zoning standards as they exist today. On the left, you will see the office professional standards, which apply to one of the parcels. On the right are the commercial general standards, which apply to 5 of them. And here is the zoning district standard table for the proposed rezoning of regional center. The primary differences are some reduced setbacks and some increased building height. Staff and Planning Commission both recommend approval for this request. And if you look in the surrounding area, most of the property uses are residential, but also we have some commercial properties, and of course across South Buncombe is the existing hospital campus. And I am happy to stand for any questions.
Thank you, sir. For the purpose of discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
By show of hand, is there a representative of the hospital with us this evening? Are you available for questions if needed? Thank you. With that, then the floor is open for discussion.
Andy, on a situation like this where we got residential across the street on West Road, I don't know if those are in the city or not, but do we still consider the buffers and all that stuff, even if there are non-city?
We would, however, along roads like this, I mean, it's practically bounded on 3 sides by roads. We require things like street trees, but we don't require buffers there per se, as if it, you know, we don't have the same standards as if it backed up to residential, you know, without kind of the street in between.
Okay, that makes sense.
But we do and will require street trees along the frontages there.
So since the road is between them, it's not like adjoining, so it's treated
Right,
slightly
so
different.
the buffer
Okay.
requirements are slightly different, yes, sir.
What about the sidewalk requirements for the tracks that are kind of in between? Does the sidewalk go up to the break?
Yes, sir. It will eventually. I will say, and I can't speak to the project specifics, but I do know this is a phased development. It's not all being developed at once. So that sidewalk installation will be phased as well, I'm sure, but that is something we look for, you know, with the site development plan, is making sure that all exterior sidewalks, like we would require along Buncombe and West Road, do extend to the property lines or, you know, in the limits of disturbance or the project area for phased developments.
If you gentlemen are willing, I would appreciate just hearing a general overview of maybe what's planned and the timeline, that kind of thing, if that's possible.
If you'll come to the podium, please, and give your name for the matter of record, please.
Brandon Coker, lead facilities and real estate for Prisma Health. Happy to be here. The first project is going to be a medical office building, roughly 100,000 square feet. It'll be ambulatory in nature. It won't be inpatient services there. It'll have imaging, lab services, GI, endoscopy, and then physician practice clinics on the upper levels. Timing, we are looking to be completed in the spring of 2027. And that's the only project at this time planned for across the street from the hospital.
That first phase is the only one that's actually planned out and like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only the 100,000 square foot thereabouts medical office building for the across Buncombe Street, Buncombe
Got it.
Road.
Appreciate that. I'll just ask for, for the sake of our discussion tonight, I believe I know the answer to this already, but just for the sake of our discussion, I've appreciated, and many in our community have appreciated the community garden there. I've had several people who are aware, the intentions to, to do something on the site, ask about that. It's my understanding that at least in this first phase, there's no plans to disturb that.
That's correct. And our civil engineer has laid out for somewhat conceptual planning purposes what other build out could be on the property. None of that's really defined, and we are trying to still leave the community gardens in that future site development. But for sure, the first phase, this first building, does not impact the gardens.
Understood, thank you.
There were some renderings put out on social media. Do those reflect just the first phase? Because I remember just
Yes.
being one building.
Yes.
Okay.
That one building, yes. And that gives you, I would say, general orientation of how it's going to look from Buncombe. Architecturally, it may have a little bit of differences to it. We're going through that now, but we certainly have our standards that we like to implement, and then we're also trying to pull from the hospital and have a little bit of a connection there.
In the course of work and over time, as we see right here, are there renovations or updates to the hospital that exists at this point in these projects somewhere, or?
Is your question, are we doing something with the hospital? Yes. The hospital is under design right now, early design to expand bed tower and the ED and surgery. That was probably, I think, part of the press release as well.
Sure, thank you. Others? Thank you, Mr. Coker. We appreciate the information. Council, questions? Comments?
I have a comment. I'd just like to say that I put it out there to a lot of friends on LinkedIn and Facebook, and there was a lot of really good feedback and appreciation for the expansion of services in Greer. A lot of folks are excited. They're not going to have to drive to Greenville or Anderson or wherever that might be to get that diagnostic work done or the imaging. And so they're very appreciative and thankful for the investment, and we appreciate it too.
And I might add that this has been a relationship that's been going on for a number of years. We certainly appreciate all that the hospital has brought to this community since the early 50s, and we look forward to the future as well, too. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. First reading of ordinance number 18-2025. This is an ordinance to provide for the annexation of a certain property owned by True North Properties LLC located at Cold Brook Drive by 100% petition and to establish a zoning classification of traditional neighborhood for said property. Mr. Bowles, information, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance number 18-2025 will go before the Planning Commission for a public hearing next week on August 18th. The parcel in question is currently adjacent to some annex properties off of Cold Brook Drive, and the request is to annex and zone to traditional neighborhood, or TN. Here you can see an aerial of the parcel. It comprises of 0.262 acres. Here's the zoning map. As you can see, it's adjacent to more traditional neighborhood parcels. Future land use map, it's adjacent to suburban neighborhood, which you'll see in kind of the reddish purple. Here's a photo of existing conditions. And here is the zoning district standards table for the proposed zoning, traditional neighborhood. Once again, staff recommends approval. Planning Commission will make a recommendation at their public hearing next week. Looking around the parcel, there are pretty much all residential uses. Many are currently in unincorporated Spartanburg County, although to the west, as we saw, there are some annexed parcels that are also traditional neighborhood. And the comprehensive plan is suburban commercial, which is consistent with this use, so staff recommends approval.
Council comes with staff approval. I'll entertain a motion to receive for the purpose of discussion.
Motion.
And a second.
Second.
Y'all still with me, council?
It's
not my district.
Okay. I was waiting on you.
The Pandora's box.
Everybody awake? By show of hand, is the owner of the property, the representative of the owner of the property with us this evening? Thank you, sir, for being with us this evening. Are you available for questions? I would assume so. So thank you. With that, then, floor is open for discussion.
Is it too early to ask what the intentions for the property, or what's the purpose of the annexation would be?
I can let the applicant give you some more details, but I believe the intent that has been expressed to staff has been to basically subdivide the property and put 2 single-family homes there.
Would you like to address council? Floor is yours if you'll state your name as a matter of record.
Good evening, council. My name is Jay Munoz. I live at 30 Bridgewater Drive in Greenville. So, like Andrew said, the intent is to build 2 small single-family homes, approximately 1,200 square feet each. We have about 75 frontage linear feet. So the intent is to subdivide that into half, 37 and a half on each. And each home will have approximately 25 feet in width. Again, no more than 1,400 square feet per home.
Others, questions while Mr. Munoz is with us this evening? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Others?
Lady, are you two related?
I knew it.
Yeah.
For the record,
That's good.
Questions?
Yeah, so everything in white is currently not in the city?
Yes, sir, that's correct. So
And what's the history of that, or?
Let me see. I'm afraid pretty much all of the maps on the presentation are about at this scale, so I don't have a more zoomed out version. But this is getting out towards the eastern edge of town, so you're seeing more unincorporated or unannexed properties there. We just haven't had requests to annex in for the most part.
Are those houses on sewer that are on, is that Amy Gray there?
Amy Gray, I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest with you. I know that CPW generally has an agreement that, in order to connect to sewer, you need to annex, but I'm not exactly sure as to whether or not those are.
Can you help provide some information, Mr. Munoz?
Yes, sir. All utilities are available at the road, water, sewer, gas, and
Okay.
on both Holbrook and
There was some development, you know, I've got some in my district that's like that. And I mean, in fact, when one of the roads was built, they allowed them to opt in or out of the city. And so they got access to the sewer at that time, but so about half of the street's in and half is out. And so, and maybe that's kind of what happened in this particular area. I know Belmont Heights is like that too. They have access to sewer, but they're not in the city.
Yes, sir.
So there's just a few exceptions to that rule, but that's not the way we operate now, but possibly back then,
Yes, sir.
so.
Others?
Now,
Sanitation access. I know if they were in the city, they're entitled to trash pickup. So, and all the other homes around there
I
have
believe,
private pickup, I guess?
I believe so. Again,
So the
I'm
only
not,
access they would have would be to go down Colebrook, right? Past the other homes.
Yes, ma'am, we're picking up in that area there. It looks like, to your point, there's
Over
that
the
one.
light green.
Yeah, that, there's that gap right there of houses, so that'll be part of our service area.
Okay, so maybe they're going up, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
yeah, that's that side of town where like city is all around that pocket and just have that little community. It's not in the city.
That one little section in there, yeah.
The only thing I just want to bring up, and because I'm very familiar with this area because it's right off Bible Brook Drive. Palmetto Valley has been built out. On Valentine Lane, we've built out now the townhomes on Valentine. I mean, we continue to tax because I see the traffic and how much movement we have in that area. And, we don't have the Bible Brook Drive Bridge anymore. And we just continue to tax this infrastructure. In the short term, there's not much we can do, but in the long term, I really think we need to consider something about that bridge for sure, because it's getting pretty hectic on that side of town.
Which bridge are we talking about?
It'd be the old railroad.
Wooden bridge over the railroad track.
The bridge we removed 5 years ago, the Bible Brook Bridge at, over the CSX line across from the inland port at Poinsett.
Oh, you were asking for a new bridge to be built there?
Yeah. We gotta look at it at some point, or have a conversation about it.
Others? Questions? Comments? Discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council, let's move to the fourth and final item before us this evening in new business. This is the first reading of ordinance number 19-2025. This is an ordinance to change the zoning classifications of certain properties owned by RMM Enterprises LLC located at 306 East Frontage Road from commercial corridor to manufacturing logistics. You have a description of the ask below. I'll entertain a motion to receive ordinance number 19-2025.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Floor is open for discussion or questions. By show of hand, is the owner of the property or representative of the owner of the property with us this evening? Are you available for questions if needed? Thank you. Now the floor is open for discussion. Questions? Comments?
I'm sorry, what is it they're looking to do here? Is there any information on this?
yes, sir. So this went before Planning Commission back last month. Long story short, all three parcels are currently zoned commercial corridor, and that is I-85 you see right there. It's right on that intersection of South 14 and 85. They are hoping to rezone it to manufacturing and logistics in order to put a laydown yard there. If you're interested, here's the zoning map, the future land use map, existing conditions, or current zoning district standards, and proposed zoning district standards. And both staff and planning commission recommend approval.
If for some strange reason it got developed beyond a laydown yard, what possibilities do they have there?
They have a number of use possibilities in terms of manufacturing and logistics. But it is, most uses in that zoning district are primarily industrial in nature. Obviously, our use table is quite extensive, so I won't read it all to you, but let's see. So some other things that could potentially open the door for are light and heavy industrial uses, salvage yard, landfill, manufacturing, outdoor storage, which this is, wholesale trade, recycling, solar farm, self-storage, and warehouse, to name a few. That is not an exhaustive list.
Lay down yard's probably the best use for it.
Better than landfill.
Yeah, better than a landfill. Thank you, sir. Others? Questions? Discussion? Comments? Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council, we have no items in executive session this evening. Stand adjourned.